Welcome back to Retirement Redefined. Today's episode is a little bit different because instead of sitting down with a different financial professional or somebody in our industry, I am actually joined by someone who's getting closer and closer to making major financial decisions on his own, my son, Liam. At 16 years old, Liam is only a few years away from adulthood. He's making decisions about cars, jobs, college, money, and all of those other larger financial decisions that come with becoming an adult. So today we're going to put him to a few real life situations and see how he would handle them. Some of these questions are serious, some of them are fun, and some of them may reveal whether he's actually been listening to me all these years. Hey everybody, my name is Brad Gotto, host of Retirement Redefined, and today I'm joined by my son, Liam. William is his full name, but we call him Liam. Hey, thanks for actually giving your dad some time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
At 16 years old, your time is hard to come by. I feel like a lot of days I barely see you when I wake up, and then I get to say goodnight to you at nighttime, and that's about it.
Yeah, pretty busy.
You can tell he talks. This is real. This is dad and 16-year-old son conversations right here. So I know that I'm busy with work, but what's keeping you busy these days?
A lot of baseball. I nanny for our friends, and then hang out with my friends a lot normally.
So we got a lot of friend time. We got baseball time, and you got your first. I wouldn't say it's your first real summer job. I think last summer you had your first kind of quote unquote full-time job at the golf course. But this summer you're nannying for some friends.
Yeah.
So far so good?
Yeah, they're pretty easy. They like to read books and just hang out, so they're pretty easy.
Well, you better hope their parents don't hear this. Otherwise, they're going to give you a pay cut if you tell them the job is that easy. Just finished your sophomore year of high school, going into your junior year. Obviously, this is in our family, for the listeners, just so that you know, we kind of treat 13 as the age where we start treating our kids like adults. And so when Liam, I know you remember this, when you were 13, we kind of had your quote unquote becoming a man weekend and started expecting a lot more of you. But when it comes to financial things, I would hope that over the years I've imparted a little bit of knowledge and wisdom into your life. And so today we're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna figure this out. So I just have a bunch of questions I'm gonna fire at you. Like I told the listeners, some of the stuff is fun, some of it's a little bit serious, but let's just have some fun. I'm gonna fire off with question number one. But if I handed you a credit card today with a $10,000 limit, what is the first thing you're buying?
Probably the 3-piece tender from Quick Trip Ranch.
Okay. How about next, after you buy chicken tenders from Quick Trip, which you don't have a credit card with a $10,000 limit and you buy already. So that wouldn't be anything new.
I feel like, man, I don't know. I think I would get brand new golf clubs, just the nicest golf clubs possible. And
that might be it, though. If you buy all of the nicest golf clubs possible, you might be out. I don't know what the nicest golf clubs possible cost.
Probably $6,000. So probably gas after that.
I take a little offense to that. I got you nice golf clubs for Christmas a year ago.
You did,
and that's how you would replace those clubs I got. I'm kidding.
Nicest.
What if I told you that the bill was due in 30 days? Would that change your mind?
100%.
So you had to pay this back. Mm-hmm. So now what would you do with the $10,000 if you knew that in 30 days you had to pay it back?
I probably wouldn't change how I'm spending because I feel like I'm kind of just riding it perfect. Like I'm not spending more money than I have, but I'm not keeping a lot either. So I'm just trying to ride it out.
I'm not going to call you on the carpet on this podcast, but you are of our two boys, you're the spender.
100%.
Money kind of burns holes in your pocket. All right. So question number 3, would you rather have a credit card that has a $10,000 limit, so it allows you to spend up to $10,000, but as we just got done discussing, that doesn't mean that you don't have to pay it back, or just $1,000 in cash?
Probably $1,000 in cash, because I feel like if I'm got that $10,000 credit card, I'm gonna use every dollar of it and forget about the fact I have to pay it back because it's money I don't have.
That's exactly right. That's actually there's a correct answer to this in my opinion, and that's the correct answer. The $10,000 isn't it's just you borrowing money from somebody else that you have to pay back. If I just handed you $1,000, it's somebody else's money that is now yours.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of you for answering the question that way. I guess I can technically say there's a right answer, but I think that was the right answer. So what's something people your age buy because they genuinely want it? You and your buddies.
A lot of gas station food.
Boy,
For every single baseball game.
tell me this is not just a conversation you and I had yesterday.
It is actually a conversation we had yesterday.
Gas station food and McDonald's, which is basically gas station food. So 2 different places to get the same type of food. The amount of money you spend going to Quick Trip and McDonald's is beyond me.
Well, you got to stay fueled up for the baseball games.
Because your mom doesn't have food at home all the time. This is not in my script. Do any of your buddies' houses that you go to have as much food in them as our house?
No. They're all like ingredient
My
houses.
point exactly. So, all right, question. Now, I'm derailing us. What is something people your age buy because everyone else has it, not because they want it necessarily?
I feel like a lot of like shoes and clothes and like AirPods and stuff. It's like a lot of stuff that really doesn't mean anything, but they buy it because other people have it.
Makes them feel cool.
I think so.
I'm here to tell you, at 44 years old, some of that never goes away. I mean, sometimes you want stuff because you feel like the quote unquote cool kids are doing it. Now, kids my age are in their 40s and 50s, but it's kind of the same thing. So it's always something you're gonna have to fight against. I heard a stat once, Liam, and this was probably 20 years ago. So I got to assume it's even more crazy than this. But even 20 years ago, it said that the average American sees over 3,500 advertisements a day.
Yeah, it's like every 10 reels on Instagram.
Well, there's that. But then if you like turn on the Twins game in the backdrop, behind the batter, it's all advertisements. In the outfield, it's all advertisements. If you go drive, because you have a driver's license now, you drive down the street, there's billboards, there's advertisements everywhere. And eventually that stuff kind of gets you, and your friends are advertisements, whatever they're wearing, whatever they're doing. And so it's constantly coming at you of, I should want this, or I do want this, that kind of deal. So pretty crazy. Next question. Do you think spending money feels different when it's cash versus when it's a credit card?
I feel like I don't really ever use credit cards. When I do, it's never mine because I don't have one. But when I have cash, I feel like I'm like,
But how about a debit card even? Because you have a debit card,
yeah.
right? But does it feel different to swipe a debit card versus paying cold hard cash?
Yeah, I don't even use my debit card. I just use my phone and tap. And I feel like cash, it like makes you think about it more. It's like, okay, this is like the exact money I have and I can see it. Like my debit card.
You know what's so funny about that? I realized my question is old.
Yeah.
Not only am I old, my question, I didn't even ask the right question. It's not even credit cards anymore. It's phone. You're right. It's phone tapping. So if you would, tell the story to the listeners about, so you just got your driver's license in January.
Yeah.
And the rule in our house is that you have to pay for your own gas.
Yep.
Right. So you're paying for your own gas, which is, these days, who would have thought that a war with Iran was going to dramatically affect a 16-year-old? But here we sit with high gas prices and a very limited budget. That being said, the first time you ever got gas, if I remember the story correctly, you went in to prepay.
Yes.
And how did this go?
I walked in there. I gave the lady
It's cash.
$100.
Cash.
Yeah, I drive a diesel truck with a 35-gallon tank. So that's mistake number one. And I walked in there. I go, can I get $100 on like truck pump number 2? And I walk out there, and it was gone in about 30 seconds. And that was really eye-opening.
See, I thought you gave her like $60 and realized then it immediately went, and you went and did it again.
Oh, I had to go back another time. Yes.
So you had to go give her money twice just to get your tank to be full.
Because I had 2 $100 bills from I don't know what, and so didn't go very far.
I think personally, cash is hard to spend. Every time I have to give up cash out of my wallet, it feels like it hurts.
Yeah.
When you just have to tap a phone somewhere, it doesn't hurt as bad. But when you watch it come out, or like you have to like I don't know. To me, it feels very, very different. And you experienced that the very first time you got gas, when you had to hand her $100 and realize it didn't even fill your gas tank. All right, so let's change kind of the theme here a little bit and go to questions around like getting paid and jobs and stuff like that. So you get your first real paycheck and it's $1,000 after you've paid taxes. Walk me through exactly where every dollar goes.
Give away 25%, spend 50%, and save 25%.
And is that by your doing? Where did that come from?
You.
So we have rules in our house. It's 50, 25, 25. That's not the order you went in, but it's 50% of your money you get to do whatever you want with, spend as you see fit.
Yep.
You could save more than 25%, but you're required to save 25%, and then you're required to give 25% away. So you get $1,000, 50% of it, $500 goes into your spending account, $250 into savings, and $250 into giving. So the next question I was going to ask is, if you didn't answer that way, was how much you save, spend, invest, and give away. How about investing? So you do have money that's invested. Yes. So outside of like your Roth IRA, because we have that going on too, you do have just a standard investment account. How did that money get in there?
You made me save up to $1,000 before I can invest any, and we put it in there like 2 years ago.
And so what's the thought process there? Why instead of just sitting in a savings account, would we invest it?
We invested it because I figured out it's like making free money pretty much if you do it
right. The way I like to think of it, Liam, is it's giving your money a job.
Yeah.
Now your money's working for you instead of you just having to work. If your money's just sitting in a checking account, you have unemployed money.
Yeah.
And unemployed money is not good. You want your money to go get a good, and ideally it has a really good job and it gets paid really well.
I feel like mine's been working pretty hard.
Well, yeah. I mean, since we started doing it a handful of years ago, the market's done, I mean, it's not a straight line, but it's gone up. We haven't hit like a major recession or something like that since you started investing money. So that's been good. If you kept, like, obviously once you become an adult, I can't force you to save 25% anymore and give away 25% anymore. But if you continue to do that, what do you think your future self, one of the lines I like to say to you, and I know you don't like it, but I think it's genius, is when you're frustrated with me because I'm making you do something, I always say 40-year-old Liam is going to love me. I know 16-year-old Liam hates me for this, but 40-year-old Liam is going to love me. What do you think your future 40-year-old self would say if on your own, without dad, and once you become a young adult, out of the home, 18 years old, would say to you at 40 if you continue to do that?
I feel like he would probably thank you. I don't like to think that he would, but I think realistically he probably would. It's going to teach me, I'll have a very large safety net in my savings account, I know for a fact, and I feel like I'd be a pretty generous person if I'm giving away 25%.
Yeah, but to this point, I'm going to pivot here a little bit. So you brought up the giving and the fact that we force, at this point anyway, you to give 25% away. It doesn't matter if it comes in through birthday money, through paychecks from a job, or whatever it may be. Talk to me a little bit about that. I know it's being forced, but you're still the one that gets to choose where the money is given and ultimately kind of have the ability to not get credit for it necessarily, you know what I mean? But like you just get to be the one that gets to feel what it's like to give that money away. Talk to me a little bit about, one, how you've made decisions of where to give. Doesn't necessarily have to answer where you gave it to, but how you came up with those decisions and then what it actually feels like to be able to do that and give that money away.
I just kind of normally give it away where I feel called to. Like we've been at like Feed My Starving Children, giving it there. I have a compassion child. Like you sponsor their meals for a year. That it just feels like good because you did something like super good when you really didn't have to work that hard for it. You changed somebody's life.
One of the things, some of your listeners might be like, gosh, 25%, that seems like a lot. The thought process is pretty simple for us. It's that I feel like everybody, this is my personal opinion, so if you disagree as a listener, that's totally fine. But I feel like everybody should be giving away 10% of what they've got coming in the door. That's just, to me, kind of the baseline ask. My thought process was simple. If I make you, as a kid, give away 25%, that when you become an adult, 10% is going to feel really easy.
Yeah.
It's going to feel really cheap, actually.
Yeah, it's a lot less.
When in reality, but if you come from it from the other perspective and you build a life off of 100% of what's coming in the door, and then you try to work towards giving 10%, it feels really painful.
Yeah.
Because it's coming from the other way. All right, off that soapbox a little bit. Have you ever bought something that you immediately regretted?
Yes. A lot.
We don't have time for the whole list, Liam. Like, what's the first one that came to mind?
I still like cologne a lot, but I bought like a $180 cologne
Oh boy.
2 weeks before Christmas for myself.
Yep. You went shopping for other people for Christmas
Yeah.
and instead bought yourself.
And I said, I like that cologne a lot, but that $180 probably should not have been used on that.
That's correct. That is also the correct answer. What's the most expensive thing you've ever wanted?
That I've ever wanted?
Yeah.
Like tangible? Or,
Let's start with tangible because not like a Bugatti because
I feel like the most expensive. I want a new full frame camera.
And how much does that cost?
The body, the one that I want's $3,000, but it's on sale for $2,500. So
You notice how he's trying to pitch me on the It's on sale for $2,500, but that's just the body of the camera. Then you gotta get lenses.
Yep.
How long would you be willing to save for that?
It's actually, if I could figure out how to keep the money I'm making from my job this summer, that's actually where I wanted to put it, because I'm our football team photographer this fall, and I'd like to upgrade.
So, knowing what you make, is it possible to save enough money this summer?
Yes, it is. But
What's probably the number one thing you're gonna have to cut out of your budget?
Quick Trip.
There it is. There it is, folks. I used all of you through a podcast episode to do my parenting for me, to get to this full circle moment, to convince my son to stop going inside of Quick Trip every time he goes and puts gas in his truck. Because although $7, $8, $12 in the moment doesn't feel like a lot, when you do it 22 times, it gets kind of expensive. It makes that cologne look cheap, actually, Liam, if you really stop and think about it. All right. Coming on to a couple of different questions. I'm gonna up the dollar amount a little bit. If somebody, it's not credit now, it's not a $10,000 credit card. If somebody just gave you $20,000 today, what are you doing with it, or what are you buying?
Ooh. A second-gen turbo swap for my truck, a tuner, and a lot of things to make my truck go really fast, I think.
Make your truck, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can appreciate that. Here's a different thought for you. And I asked the question that way on purpose. So you told the listeners earlier that we do 50, 25, 25, right?
Yeah.
What's the other caveat to the forced 25% savings that you left out?
I gotta save it. You match it. That's right. You match it. I forgot about that, actually.
So if you put $1 into your savings, what do I put in?
$1.
And I hand you $20,000 and all of it goes into your truck.
Well, I would just put it in my savings account and I would just take it out.
Yeah, the problem with that is it doesn't work that way, bud. Savings account's a one-way street. It's got a front door, but it does not have a back door. And that's for a reason.
Yeah.
You think I'm dumb? I'm just going to let you put the money in there. I give you $1, then you take it right back out. I'm like the federal government. It's you have to tell age 59 and a half before you can touch that money without penalty. I couldn't afford for you to put $20,000 in a savings account, by the way, and have to match all that. So it's a good thing you don't actually have that. All right. On that note, since you brought up cars, would you rather drive a paid off older vehicle or a brand new vehicle with a payment?
Brand new vehicle with a payment.
Oof.
It's like infinite joy.
Infinite joy.
Well, do I get to pick which vehicle it is?
Well, if you can afford the payment.
Well, as long as I finance it out far enough, I can afford it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Do you know what if you remember, our actually pastor brought this up at church. What is the average monthly car payment in America right now?
I don't know. $500.
$770.
Oh,
that's the average monthly car payment.
Mine would have been like $5,000 for the one I was going to pick then, just knowing that.
Well, you have to be able to, in the hypothetical question, I understand, but you got to be able to afford the payment, bud.
Yeah, I'd probably just drive a used one that's been paid off.
All right. If college costs $100,000 and you had to write the check yourself, would you still go?
Probably not, because the stuff I want to do, I know I can get internships, and if I wanted to come join you, you went to college to be a youth pastor, not anywhere in the financial world. So I feel like I could try to figure out my way through relationships and learning that I could not have to go to college, maybe.
Interesting. We might have to unpack that off the podcast.
Well, you did go to college. And you went to college to be a youth pastor. I don't know.
I did.
I don't know.
I did. And I went to a private college and paid a lot of money to get a job that pays almost none money. So it wasn't the greatest financial decision of my life, but there's definitely parts of college I wouldn't change. So on that note, would you rather graduate debt-free or have the dream college experience? So you go to maybe a college you don't want to go to or do whatever because you just don't want debt, or you bring on the debt and just full send best college experience possible.
Probably best college experience possible, because I want to go to an SEC school so I can go to the football games, because we went to one that was the funnest football game I've ever been to.
And you just happen to be wearing that shirt today.
Yeah, I actually have a Georgia shirt on today.
There's a pattern here. You're definitely willing, whether it's car, college, or otherwise, to go into debt for immediate enjoyment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
You're very American, just so that you know.
Yeah.
What's one thing adults spend money on that seems completely unnecessary to you?
Let me think. Like name brand food and stuff. Like I feel like the fake Lucky Charms taste the same as the real Lucky Charms, so then you can go buy all their fun stuff.
Name brand food. I can't wait for your mom to listen to this.
My mom buys name brand flour. I don't know what the difference is between the flour that says Good Gather and.
Well, after she listens to this, I'm sure she's going to tell you.
I doubt you can taste the difference.
I'm sure she's going to tell you. All right, looking ahead. This is kind of the last set of questions. You're looking ahead. When you're 25, what do you hope your life looks like?
Just hope I'm happy doing what I want to be. Don't really care how much money I'm making, as long as I can pay my bills and I'm just happy and fulfilled.
What's one thing that you think, so you use the word happiness and fulfillment. Give me one or two things that you think would bring about happiness or fulfillment at age 25.
Definitely not having to extreme budget every single thing I do, micromanage my money. I'd like to be at least kind of comfortable. And yeah, that's probably it.
How about accomplished by then? What's one thing you hope to have accomplished? This is a different question. Different question. Something you hope to have accomplished by age 25.
If I go to college, I hope I can only do 4 years. And I'd like to have a job I could see myself working in for quite a long time.
So already be in, so I would define that as a career. So
yeah,
difference between a job and a career.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's one, I know this is a hard question maybe, but what's one financial mistake you never want to make?
Buying something really, really expensive that I can't afford.
Like a car.
Yeah, like a car or like a house. Like a really nice house.
Or a bottle of cologne.
Yeah, bottle of cologne.
All right, one last question here. What's one lesson you think every teenager should learn before they leave home?
I haven't left home, so it's hard. I feel like, I don't know. As long as you have good living conditions and you like what you're doing and you're happy, it doesn't really matter what you're doing, I don't think.
Doesn't matter what kind of job you have?
Yeah, you don't got to be insanely rich to be happy. Because I feel like all my buddies think they need to be millionaires. And I look at them, I'm like, you're not going to be a millionaire at this rate.
Wow. A lot of faith in your buddies.
Oh,
a lot of faith.
Zero.
Wow. Well, hopefully your buddies don't listen to this podcast, I guess. Lightning round. I just want your gut reaction. Ready? Mm-hmm. New truck or Roth IRA?
Oh, Roth IRA.
Oof. Concert tickets or investments?
Investments. I don't like concerts.
Okay. Nice apartment or roommates and more savings.
Nice apartment.
$500 today, $500 today, or $5,000 a year from now.
$5,000 a year from now.
Look rich or be rich.
Be rich.
Brand name clothes or money in the bank.
Money in the bank.
New phone every year or keep the same one.
Keep the same one.
Are you just trying to give the right answers?
I don't ask for a new phone.
You did ask for a phone for many years. Yes. One of the things that, as we kind of close up here, Liam, that I hope that not only you or the listeners kind of get out of this is when it comes to finances, a lot of you that listen to this podcast are seasoned in life, not teenagers. We'll just put it that way. But you have kids and you have grandkids. And so if your kids are my kids' age or your grandkids are my kids' age, I think this stuff starts very, very young. And so starting to have these conversations, one of the things that's really interesting me about the society in which we live is one of the most private conversations. One of the most private things in our culture is money. We just don't like to talk about it. It's not something that you know about your neighbors. It's not something you tend to even know about your siblings, is how much money they make, what they choose to do with their money, and all of that kind of stuff. And it's also true. It's been my experience in almost 20 years in financial services that the average parent or grandparent isn't getting into financial conversations with their kids and grandkids. And not necessarily about like having to open up their whole financial picture to their kids and show them what they have and how much they make and how much they save and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying you have to go that far with it, but talking to them about financial fundamentals and what that looks like, allowing your kids to basically feel the pain of what it means to be in control of their own money. You know, one of the things Christy and I decided to do early on with Liam and his younger brother Hudson, who will be on a future podcast episode here, was give them what we considered a quote unquote livable wage for an allowance. A lot of parents pay allowances that are $5 a week. Well, or $10. With that, what can the kid actually do? They can save it and go do something fun with it. But Liam, we paid you more than that.
Yes.
But we also said, if you want to go to the high school basketball game, or you want something from the concession stand, or we go to a family movie and you want something from the concession stands at the movies or whatever, that you had to pay for it.
Yep.
That we would pay for your core expenses to be alive and everything that takes. But the discretionary stuff, the fun stuff, like I want to go have fun, I want to hang out with my buddies, I want to do this, that's going to be on you.
Yep.
In other words, giving you financial responsibility at a young age and letting you feel the pros and cons of the decisions you make, right? Like being able to have regrets. Like, I can't believe I bought that cologne, or I can't believe it cost me this much to drive. I've watched you over the last 6 months as you've had a driver's license make very different decisions. In the beginning, you drove everywhere, every time, no matter what, because it was just so fun to have your truck. And after putting gas in it 2 or 3 times in a short amount of time, you're like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to drive there. I don't think I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to go start negotiating with mom and dad about why am I paying for gas to bring my little brother somewhere or something like that. So I think it's really important for parents that and grandparents that these conversations become not only important, but near the top of the list. This is the kind of stuff that as I looked back on college, and I always thought when I was a young adult, and I asked those questions, Liam, about age 25, and what's one of the things you hope you had accomplished. At 25, I'd been in financial services for a year, maybe 2 years. I can't remember exactly. I think I was 24 when I got in, so I was maybe in for a year. I remember thinking, I got out of college, I went to a private school, paid a lot of money for it, took on a lot of debt, got a job as a youth pastor, which paid, like I said, next to nothing. But I never got taught financial fundamentals.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to balance a checkbook. I was the kid in college, and you're making better financial decisions in some ways already today than I did in college. I had credit card debt. I had pretty nice wardrobe for a college kid. I love clothes, still do today. The problem is I couldn't afford any clothes back then, but I still bought them because I was the kid that didn't quite understand that you had to pay credit cards back. But I just wished that somebody had taught me that at a young age. And so I'm trying to instill that in some of you. And it's interesting to hear how you come out with some of these answers in these questions. A little bit fun today, just to kind of hear from my son and how he thinks about things, but also a little bit serious in this idea or concept of bringing financial education to the youth of America today, and specifically to your family. If you have any other questions as it relates to ways that either I personally am trying to raise my boys financially, or just generic financial advice of opportunities as it relates to working with young adults or kids as it relates to their finances. We mentioned as an example that Liam has a Roth IRA. If you have any questions about how do you open a Roth IRA? What do you need to open a Roth IRA? What does that look like? Or where are you putting, what's a good place to use a savings account for a kid, or to have debit cards that you have some sort of control over, or whatever it may be. Or something as simple as, well, it's not simple necessarily, but something a little bit different, like 529 plans and saving for college education, and how do I do that, and how do I be helpful? We would love to have those conversations. Not your typical conversation that you're having with financial advisors, but it's something we're passionate about, and something that we have, a lot of us here at Fiat, because we have kids, have a lot of experience with. So with that being said, Liam, thanks for taking time out of your summer. I know you're out of school now, and so these summer hours are very, very valuable, but you got the day off.
I do.
And so what are you going to do now that you're done with Dad and you have the day off? What are you going to do with the rest of your day?
I have to go to the mall with my mom. Get some pajamas for my missions trip.
There you go. You're heading to Alaska in a couple of days on a mission trip with the youth group, so you got to prep for that. That's a great way to end the episode. As always, it's always great to spend time with you, no matter what it is that we get to do together. So thanks for being here. Listeners, thanks for listening into this episode of Retirement Redefined. If you want any more information on anything we talked about today, or anything Fiat related, all of that can be found at our website, www.fiatwm.com. We will see all of you next time.